Podcast. Thank you for tuning in and welcome. Welcome to the Homeschool Podcast. I'm your host, Augustino Zoida, and I'm here with my co-host, Kevin Lyons.
Hey, everybody.
And our guest is going to walk in the door any minute. But first, we got to get some of the business out of the way. All right, you guys. We're giving you the business, Beeve. Isn't that what they used to say on Leave It to Beaver?
That's right.
The
Beeve.
The Beeve. Thank you guys so much. It really means a lot to us that you tune in, and we hope that you continue to tune in and you subscribe. I want to let you guys know that a little reminder, Black Friday's on the way, and we're going to do a promo code, a big discount to get Homeschool Podcast merch. So you can get our t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, cell phone case, or just some stickers if you want. And we really appreciate the support, and we love seeing people rocking our gear out there and supporting the Homeschool Podcast, especially when you tag us on social media. It makes us feel good. All right, you guys, I'm not in it for the money. I'm going to do a giant discount just to make sure you guys get some stuff, okay? So don't forget homeschoolpod.com on Black Friday. I'll be tweeting out and putting on Instagram the promo code, so don't miss that. Also, I'd like to welcome back as a sponsor to the Homeschool Podcast because it is the season. So I'd like to welcome back BenefitPackages.com. You guys, they've been there since the beginning, and they come back every year. It is the season, so listen, if you guys, I know you're hearing all these commercials on the radio and stuff like that, like it's time to get your health insurance, it's open enrollment, it's the season, and you don't really know where to begin, and sometimes when health insurance seems so confusing, which it is, you just end up putting it off, and then it's too late. Trust the people at BenefitPackages.com. Most importantly, it's not going to cost you anything. You have healthcare professionals guiding you through what plans to get or how to enroll through, what they call Obamacare. So maybe you get like help paying for it. Maybe you get free healthcare. It's all based on your income. So just hit up the professionals, okay? Because it costs you nothing. They get paid from whichever insurance company they sign you up for. So it's not going to cost you anything to have the help of a professional. All right, so you're going to go to benefitpackages.com, and you can request a quote on there, or you can just call them at 1-800-356-3615. Once again, it's 1-800-356-3615. This is for our California residents because if you're in another state, I'm sorry, they don't work there.
Disney, California residents.
This is for California residents only. So head over to benefitpackages.com or call 1-800-356-3615. Get help professionally and just put this behind you and be ahead of the game this year. And also, if you tell them that the Homeschool Podcast sent you, they're going to send you a free gift, either a Starbucks gift card or some movie tickets. So, I mean, it's just a win-win-win all the way around. And that's it, you guys. So those are the sponsors for today. You got BenefitPackages.com, and you got the Homeschool Pod. All right, you guys, shop merch, shop tour dates, and you can also go on there and communicate with me. Click on contact and send me emails, and I do reply to those. So go ahead. We really appreciate it. Hit subscribe, 5 stars on iTunes. We appreciate all of it. All right, you guys. Our guest is John Campanelli today. He's a comic that I've known for, I don't know, from like before I was a comic, it feels like. Known this guy forever, and I'm excited to have him on. I've never had him on before. I think we've talked about it a bunch in the past, so now it is officially time to have him on. And so it's me, Kevin Lyons, John Campanelli. It's Homeschool Podcast. Let's have some fun.
Please take your seats. School is now in session.
Homeschool Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
No, okay.
I don't want to do that at all. Now we're all here. It's welcome back to the Homeschool Podcast. We're here with our guest, the very punctual John Campanelli.
Thank you, guys.
You are punctual. You were like, I think that you are normally punctual, but traffic fucked us both up.
Yeah, it was really
I wasn't
bad.
making fun of you. I was serious.
No, I'm not that punctual. Actually, so.
I thought that you were. I don't know.
I'm late on purpose.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm around.
Yeah.
I'm around punctual. I'm not punctual, or I'm not necessarily punctual or not punctual.
That's not like a thing about you.
No, if someone was like
on Tinder, you're like, I'm very punctual.
I mean, that sounds like a serial murderer. I'm very punctual. That's not good. But if someone was to describe me, someone was like, "Oh, we want John for this. It's an 8 a.m. call time." They wouldn't be like, "Oh, he's gonna be late," but they also wouldn't be like, "Yeah, he gets there so early." They would just be
Yeah.
like, "Okay,
He's our guy. Like, he's gonna get it over Tannen Chading because he just gets up early.
I'll be there 8 a.m. call time. I'll be there between 7:56 and 8:03."
That's good. That's respectable. That's on time to me. That's LA on time.
Yeah.
That's early for me.
Well, because when we agreed on 6:45, then I texted you and I was like, "What's your ETA?" Because I'm running late, and
Yeah.
you were like 6:45 still. I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, and then I got in the car and immediately was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it. I couldn't even get on the 101.
Really?
I almost had to walk on top of cars. I got out of my car and I was walking across cars.
Just
Yeah.
and then you walk back and got in your own car.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, traffic's been like fucking insane. It's like holidays are here, you guys. Like they're here right now. I went to the mall this weekend and it was slammed, dude. Like it was congested to pull into the parking lot, and that's when you know it's like the holidays are officially here.
Yeah, I have no passion to really go out right now. I'm just like, I can't. The traffic, it gives me anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Too many people doing here's the thing. I don't like doing things that like, okay, if there's like Thanksgiving Eve is like the big night to go out. I don't want to go out because of that.
Dude, I 100% agree.
And I think it probably has something to do with our careers, because like we're always out and we're always social.
Yes.
So like the idea of going out to be social and like where everyone's
It
going
sounds
out
like
to
a
be social.
nightmare.
It's an absolute nightmare because we have to be social most nights.
It
to
sounds
begin
like a
with.
terrible idea.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with all of that. Like, even Valentine's Day, dude. Just like, you know, and I'm married, you know, and my wife gets it. It's just like, well, let's go. And she agrees with me. It's like, oh, let's go out on Valentine's Day. Like, yeah, fucking no. With all the other idiots that went out on Valentine's Day.
I'm not
you
a
know?
big. I mean, I'll do it because, but I mean, that's a whole nother can of worms. Valentine's Day, what they make us do.
Yeah, well,
Right.
you get stuck in traffic anyway. I mean, especially with the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you go out, you're stuck in like people traffic wherever you go because it's slammed. Like, if
Yeah.
you go to a bar or anything like that,
Yeah.
it's like so much. That shit gives me anxiety too, man.
And life works like how Uber works. You know what I mean? Like if it's a high populated time, prices go up, right? So if you're out on Thanksgiving Eve, like you said, that's like party night, you know, Uber prices are fucking jacked. All of a sudden, like some bars have a cover charge to get in, and if they don't, you're in there, and it's like I can't even at my favorite bar I normally go hang. I can't even like get a comfortable seat. You know, just like
small
no, thank
talk,
you. Yeah.
just small talk, and you're like, you can't move, and you're just like, I'd rather be home watching The Office right now than doing this. I just can't do it. And then if you're single, you're like, oh, people are out, you know, girls are out drinking, and people are gonna wanna, whoa, we can hook up, and then it's like, but no, because everyone's going to hang out with their families tomorrow, so all they're gonna do is get way too drunk and throw up Jaeger, and it's
true.
like no. So the idea behind a Thanksgiving Eve type is like it's never what you think it's gonna be,
Right.
I mean, Vegas to me is like that too. Like Vegas is, people are always like, Vegas, like I'm gonna go to Vegas, and like guys are like, oh, we're gonna go to Vegas, we're gonna get laid, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And I'm gonna tell you something right now, and I don't know if I'm an exception. I've been to Vegas a lot. I've really not hooked up with many girls in Vegas. Vegas, I don't know what it is, but like I think it's this idea that you're gonna go and it's gonna be like this crazy time.
Yeah.
But it can be a crazy time, but I've never woken up and been like, whoa, I had an orgy and I woke up in
Yeah,
a penthouse. It's so,
I haven't either, but to be fair,
yeah.
I usually go to Vegas with someone.
Yeah,
But I've gone with like groups of friends, and like I've definitely partied, but it's never been like you said.
I
like,
don't, yeah.
You know, I'm sure you could probably find it if you're looking hard enough.
If you're looking hard enough.
And it might be a skanky skanker, but
Yeah.
or a prostitute. I mean, if you go with the right amount of money,
That
I've never been. I think you're right. I think it has a lot to do with our career, the fact that we're comics.
Yeah,
Like, when I
dude.
look at Vegas, I do not see it as like a vacation or
No.
a party.
No,
Like
work.
if I had a group of friends that were like, we're gonna go to so and so's bachelor party, we're gonna go to Vegas. I'm like, that's a vacation. That's work.
Yeah.
Like Vegas, I go do the show, and then I have to deal with the annoying drunk people afterwards. And then, by the way, thank you if you guys come to shows. But you know what I mean, Vegas people. They're not always like your fans who listen to your podcast. They're Vegas people.
Yeah,
and they go to shows.
And you also want to come back with money in your pocket. And
Yeah.
everything in Vegas is so expensive, and I don't have the rates yet to go like balling. So I go there. I'm like, yeah, I really can't spend anything
Right.
if I want to actually make money on this trip.
Totally. And if I'm not working, do you really think I want to go there to hang with those people? And I'm not getting paid?
Right.
Like, I would just to be around a bunch of drunk idiots. It's just like,
So what you're
No,
saying
thank
is
you.
we should go to Vegas on Thanksgiving Eve.
Yes.
yeah, especially going to Vegas on like holidays. Oh, bro, Memorial Weekend. Like,
Oh,
you're-
New
No.
Year's Eve.
No.
Fucking no way.
No. I'll go to Vegas in like the hottest week of July.
Oh, that's so funny
and
to
just
say.
stay
That sounds
because
so
no one else
miserable.
is going to be outside.
True, that's
and then
fair.
I'm just going to stay in my hotel room, in the air conditioner, you know. But even then, like if I want to go out, I'm just going to walk down to
Please
the casino.
don't do that though.
I'm not
That's
going
a
to.
horrible idea.
I've done it because I've been booked.
Oh yeah.
Again, I'm not going outside. I'm just going to go to the show, then I'm going to go back to my room and watch fucking Stranger Things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
or whatever.
How many times can you watch Stranger Things? I feel like
Kevin is up there.
Well, season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3 I watched quite a lot.
you did.
I watched it at least 3 times, all the way through.
I watched
Really?
season 3 twice.
Because no, season 1 watched once. Season 2 I watched once and I forgot most of it. I fell asleep through most of it. I didn't like it
Really?
at all.
Okay.
Season 2, season 3 I really liked, and I watched that. I watched that more than a couple of times, like at least 3 times.
I watched season 3 twice only because I watched it by myself when I was on the road in a hotel room because I go, this is my chance to watch it because my wife doesn't like it. So I'm like, I'll watch it by myself. And then it was like so good that I had to come back home and convince her to watch it.
It's so good.
It's so good. Dude.
I feel like I am like 11 a little bit.
Well, you're also, I love the 80s nostalgia. You're also like the same
Yeah.
age as me pretty
Yeah.
much, right?
35.
You're 35. You're like the same age as him.
I'm 37. I'm gonna be 37 next month.
How old are you?
Otherwise-
How-
Shit. I'm 31.
You are, yeah. I remember you were young.
Tiny bit younger.
But still around
yeah.
the same, still around the same generation.
Yes. Yeah, I mean 80s.
Yeah.
I mean Kevin and I, he's almost 37 and I mean we love like the 80s movies and stuff like that. He likes a little bit more
Stranger
than I do.
Things season 3 had the best type of 80s.
Absolutely.
I mean, like the first couple of seasons,
Yeah.
it was all like sci-fi, but this like covered
Yeah.
the whole array of 80s.
I
And that's
got,
why I
like-
loved it so much.
I got like fucking Die Hard references. I got Terminator references and I saw
Magnum PI.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Back to
yeah.
the Future.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, dude, like to get back to an excellent point that you made, it's like when you choose this career, and I think that anyone can relate. Like if you put it to like,
Well, if you choose this career, something's wrong with you. That's the number one thing.
yeah,
You're not right.
well, the career chose me. No, it didn't.
yeah.
When I mean, let's just say like you work at like the mall. You know what I mean? Like on your day off, you don't want to go to the mall, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's the same thing. Like
Totally.
I kind of enjoy Thanksgiving Eve comedy shows.
Yeah, because they're packed.
I've had great experiences doing
Totally.
those, and people like go, and I feel bad like they paid a little extra, and I was almost like, listen guys, if you went and saw me next week, it would have been regular price. You know what I mean? But
That's
people
why I like
pay
working
more.
New Year's Eve because it's usually pretty.
Oh, New Year's Eve!
decent,
I mean,
you know?
it's easy money, and they're packed.
Yeah.
I like several years in a row, I would do one of the improvs. It was always either like Ontario or the regulars, Irvine, all that shit. And
By the way, great money for us is $5. So
yeah. By the way, if I'm working on
New Year's Eve, we get $5.
yeah, if I got there and I didn't have to pay for my own gas, and I didn't die by getting hit by a drunk driver on their way home, it's a win. Yeah, so like several years in a row, I would do one of the improvs, and it was always like opening for Joey, and it was on New Year's. Why do I keep saying New Year's? Fucking Thanksgiving Eve, and it's just the shit. It's one night, and so people were like, "Dude, fucking, we're gonna go see Joey, but we can't go see him all weekend." It was a one nighter, so it would be sold the fuck out.
That's
dude.
awesome.
And sometimes they would add a second show, and it was those are a lot of fun. Those are definitely a lot of fun. I don't like working on New Year's Eve. I like the money.
Yeah, I'd rather work if I'm not working on New Year's Eve. I don't really want to go out.
Yeah, I don't
It's
want
like
to go
that's
out.
it. It's like I'm either gonna do shows or I'm not gonna do anything.
Last year I did Phoenix, and it was great money and great shows all week. And then the New Year's Eve show, the most hyped up one, the most highest ticket price, was like the worst show of the week.
Yeah, They're not necessarily going. I had a good experience last year. I did New Year's Eve in New York with Corinne Fisher.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that show was sold out, and we did it smart. We did an early show, like a 7:00 show, which was great. And we're gonna do LA this year, which she's gonna announce. We haven't announced yet, but we're gonna do an early show again.
Somewhere in LA.
Yeah.
Early shows are the best, dude. Like, get people in, have a great time, and they leave. That's the other thing. It's the audience you attract. The early show audience of New Year's Eve is great. Like, they know we're going out on New Year's Eve, and they go, and then we're home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not out with all the drunks. And then the late crowd of New Year's Eve, they're not comedy fans. Half of them are people that weren't invited to New Year's Eve parties, and you know what I mean? So they're those weirdos, so they don't know.
And by the way, nothing wrong with if you're not invited to a New Year's Eve party, you're not a weirdo.
I mean, if I was invited,
but you're a loser. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
No, but and I'm not saying everybody who goes to a comedy show is it's because they weren't invited to. I'm saying that like some of them, sure. The rest of them, it's just they love comedy. That's what they wanted to do on New Year's Eve. But then there's like on average, like if you love comedy, like you're going to the show Thursday, Friday, you know what I mean, Saturday. And then if you're not like the biggest fan of comedy, you're going out on New Year's Eve because it's something to do. You don't know.
It's not a bad alternative though. The ball drops. I've been on stage once when it hit midnight. I had my own show and I worked it like that. It was cool.
Right. I've done that a couple times too. Where you do the countdown for the audience.
All right, one upper. I did it one time. I had my show.
Well, bro, I worked at the Haha and they had me.
That's true.
Yeah, I had to do it for them.
Okay, never
Relax.
mind.
It wasn't.
You're right. That was the one. That was
actually,
not a
I did do it this last year in Arizona too. I wasn't the host, but they just asked me to do it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. I liked bringing the new year on stage, but that's it.
I found online the other day.
Uh-oh. It's always a weird.
I was on Instagram and I found the old Haha Instagram account, which it's not their current account. Like ever since they moved to the new location, they got like a new one and they vamped it up and everything, and that's the one they currently use. But there's one that like fell through the cracks that people forgot about, and I went on there and I was like, when was the last time someone posted on that? And I looked and it was a New Year's Eve video. And it was me on stage counting down like 3, 2.
Oh, really?
And also on stage with me were all the comics who performed that night. And it was me, Dustin Ibarra.
Was it a comedy contest?
No, it was the New Year's Eve show. It was Dustin Ibarra, I think Vinny Oshana.
Oh, wow.
Loey.
Oh, wow.
And like someone else, I forget. And I remember I sent it to Loey too, and Loey wrote back to me right away, and he was like, "Wow!" And we all became stars.
That was the night you guys knew.
That was the night we knew, bro. But I'm glad that you finally made it on. We've like talked about it and then lost interest.
I didn't lose interest.
I didn't lose interest in having you either, but it was like we
that was a really weird comment. We talked about it and lost interest. Hey, you want to be on my podcast? Yeah.
When I say lost interest, I mean, you know how things like sizzle.
Totally.
Like it just like for like a week
fizzle.
For a week we were really trying to make it happen, and then like the following week we were like we weren't really texting trying to get dates anymore.
I'm like not busy, but also I am busy. It's very weird. Like I just like I never, my schedule is like sometimes I'm like really not busy and other times I'm like insanely busy. So I feel like we just keep getting.
I feel like you're half the time here now. Don't you like?
I'm in New York. I'm in New York a good amount. I'm still here more, but I'm in New York a good amount. It's exhausting. It's not. People think it's like I'm thriving. They're like, dude, you're in New York. You're in LA. It's like, yeah, dude. It's not glamorous. It's like I'm not. I'm not making I'm not making money to be doing it the right way. So it's like I'm schlepping it a little bit. It's like, it's exhausting. This year's been, it's been a lot. I love being in New York. I think I have a little more of a footprint out here.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you've been here forever.
I started here.
Yeah.
So.
But you're originally from New York.
Yeah, but I started here. So. So I'm trying to figure out. But I've been going back and forth. I'm going tomorrow.
Maybe it's not glamorous. Maybe it's not like you're making money or anything and you're schlepping, as you put it. But you are working the two fucking places that you want to work. When I say work, I don't mean like, oh, I have jobs. I mean you're working the system, like within. Like if you're working,
I don't know if I'm good at working the system.
Well, what would you do differently in New York? Like that's like
More spots. I would just be. There's just a lot of more clubs to get into, and so a lot more stage time.
there's a lot more stage time.
Like a lot more. Out here, like
Don't the shows go to like 4 a.m.?
yeah, there's just not enough stage time out here. I mean, it's cool stages. They're great stages, but
Yeah.
it's just not as much.
And we have some of the biggest comedy clubs in the country out here in Los Angeles. But the problem is with Los Angeles is it's the biggest clubs in the country.
Yeah.
They're not putting on
Yeah. So I'll get
Augustino Zoida.
or they throw me a
you know what I
bone
mean?
here or there.
Yeah.
It's like a win.
Yeah, I get a bone. For a while, it was once a month. Now it seems like every couple of months, you get a bone every now and then. And then besides that, it's, hey, we're the greatest comedy club in the world, and have you seen our lineup? That's what you're competing
And they're great
with.
lineups.
yeah.
Other than that, I can get up at bar shows and all fucking day. But I mean, how many of those do you want to do?
I mean, yeah, they serve a purpose, but that's
Absolutely.
it. But that's it. They just serve a purpose, but you don't want to be getting. You
Yeah.
get to a point. I don't care what I sound. You get to a point where it's like you got to be careful with getting up too much on not great stages,
Yeah.
because it can become detrimental. Because if you know your voice and you already know what you want to talk about, it gets to a point where it's like, hey man, like I'm around bad energy.
Yes.
I'm around bad crowds. You have to dumb yourself down. You know, you're doing too many it's like, hey, my stuff's a little more cerebral than this, but you guys, our attention spans aren't there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like, I don't.
And that's the purpose that it serves, is that it makes you a stronger comic.
and you can
but
work
don't-
on you can
yeah.
go you can go there and
Yeah.
work on stuff that you just want to. But I am absolutely done with, like, I'm gonna do me. I'm not gonna try to please you.
Sure.
I'm done. Like that was when you're younger. You go up on stage and you're like, I want the crowd to like me.
Yeah.
What do you guys want me to? And it's like, now I'm like, no, I already know what I want to do. I know it's funny, and I'm gonna do what I want to do.
That is
So-
something that newer comics feel like
have
they want to
to.
do whatever to get those laughs because they have something to prove.
Yeah.
They have to be like, they're always trying to be like, I'm getting booked at this club now, you know, like newer comics, you know, I got this show because I'm funny. Like when you're a little more seasoned, like I think you and I probably been doing it the same amount of time, probably.
I think you might be doing it longer than me.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
almost at 11 years.
I'll be 10 in April.
Okay. So a little bit longer, but yeah, dude, like I 100% agree with you that you find a point where you go, I'm not doing whatever
Yeah.
to make the crowd laugh. I
Yeah.
found my voice already.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with it because
Yeah.
you know what's going to happen? You could change who you are for someone else. And let's say you get booked on something, this great show, or let's say you go to Montreal and you do the festival, right? And you got it because you changed your act to be what you thought they were looking for.
Yeah, it's bad.
So now you got it, but you're always going to go, they didn't book me for me. They booked me because I recognized what they were looking for and I changed for it. And you're
I
always
just
going to
can't-
wonder what
I
would
can't do-
happen. What
yeah.
would have happened if I stayed me? And maybe nothing would have happened, but at least you'll always go, I stayed true to myself.
Yeah, I can't do that with stand up. I can't do anything other than what I want to do.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Well, I'm glad that you're not even fucking trying to anymore.
Well, how long have you been doing that? You changed that game up by just doing just you instead of adapting to what the crowd wants.
I'll be honest with you. I want to say I've kind of always had an element of that since I started. I want to say that. I mean, you saw me when I first started.
Yeah.
What would you? I mean, assess me.
Some things that I can say about John are, because I'm not going to suck your dick here and be like, well, he was always amazing. I will tell you.
Then why am I even here?
But I'll tell you that hacking never comes to mind. So definitely I don't think you were playing into the crowd.
Thank you.
I think that you were always talking about something that you wanted to talk about. I remember you doing a lot of stories, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say you're a storyteller to
Right,
put a
right.
label on you,
Yeah.
but those are the bits that stand out to me, is that I remember you doing stories, which were at the time not popular. Now they are.
Right.
And you could have easily, you know, like many do, just do the quick jokes. I went through a period of
Right.
trying to just get the laughs, going to the hacky to get the laughs, you know. But yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I've always tried to be as authentic as possible. It's the only way.
I mean, we're trying to just get better always. You know, it's a journey, but
It's a journey, bro.
it's a journey, bruh.
It's so funny to say that in here as I look up and there's the world's smallest. What is the punching
speed
bag?
bag.
Speed
It's a
bag.
speed bag, but is it still
It's
small
not
for a
even.
speed bag?
It's not that it's small. There's no air in it.
That's
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
I'm
pumped
looking up at it. I can't see. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Why
Why do you not even have my name on the thing?
Well, bro, we were fucking running late today.
Okay.
Okay. What do you want me to do, man? I mean, everything's like green screen now. I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude, that's an excellent point, and I'm glad that like you're never really have really tried it, but I'm glad that you're not, dude. Like I also realized that at one point. It's just like I'm not gonna change it. You know what? What a weird phase I'm in right now is that.
Gay.
I mean, it's not weird. It's normal.
Oh yeah.
No, but I'm in a phase right now where I just don't feel like doing shows where I have to alter myself. I can go clean. I'm not really dirty,
Right.
but I maybe curse sometimes. I have some stories, I guess, that would be considered dirty or what's the other word? Not risque, but like, you know,
Vulgar.
maybe blue, I suppose you can call some of my bits. But I'm
Yeah.
not a dirty comic. Some are, some aren't. I like to just tell the story or the joke the way I think it should be told. I'm not considering funny or like clean or not clean. But if you come to me and you go, "Hey, I have a gig for you. Can you do like 30 clean?" Absolutely.
Yeah, because some gigs you do look at
Yeah.
it and you're like it's work always.
Mm-hmm.
All of our shows are work. It's where we work. But sometimes it's like, you know, hey, it pays this much. Can you do clean? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that because it's work and I can do that. I don't love doing private events. I have very high rates for private events because that to me isn't necessarily even stand up.
Yeah.
Because it's so.
You feel like a
this
hired
Christmas party and what they
it's
want
like a
is
clown or magician.
Yeah, you
no
can't-
offense to clown or magicians.
you can't really do your set.
Because is that all just more like crowd work type of stuff? Because you're just
I mean, that's gonna work better than your act.
It's
but-
weird. It's just they're very specific in what they want, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
And I've had some experiences where I kind of felt like I was treated a little bit like a clown, but luckily I
Yeah,
just
I
kept
hate that
thinking.
feeling.
I did one, and I just kept thinking, you have the check in your pocket. You have the check in your pocket. Just get through it. Just get
get out of here.
But I was basically getting like heckled by kids.
Yeah, oh.
But it was getting like in. Like a little.
I don't mean to laugh.
No,
at you, but
please.
I'm just picturing
Please.
these kids heckling you, and you're just trying to keep everything.
Throwing a banana at him and stuff.
And I was having fun with them, but then I was like, am I going to go too far? Because, you know, I'll cut deep, man. I'm quick.
Yeah.
I'm quick.
Yeah.
And then it's like, because it was like, you know, it was family and friends, and like it was a big Christmas party, and it
I'll
was
fucking
like
burn that
at like a
10-year-old.
nice place. There was like a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Oh, is
No,
this
they
your
were
teddy
like
bear?
high school kids. They were
Oh,
doing it.
you should have burned them to the ground, man.
I know, but it was like,
Oh, it's fuck high school.
yeah, but
kids.
it was like because then you don't know, and then it's like I just didn't want it to. I just was like, look, I'm just gonna do the best I can in the situation, and then take this check immediately to the bank.
Yeah.
You know.
And hope they don't.
And here's the thing.
cancel.
No, they were cool.
No,
Everyone
no.
had a good time.
No, that's good.
They were cool about it, but I was like, this isn't that fun for me.
It's
Yeah.
not fun. You're there for the money.
Yeah.
If I'm taking gigs like that, it's for the money, and it's like, hey, I'm making money doing what I love, but it's not really stand up, like you said. But the thing with that is like when someone asks you, can you do clean? It's usually better paid gigs because those gigs always pay the best because if they're requesting clean, it's probably because it's for a private event,
Yeah.
a corporate event,
And it's crazy too. When it's clean, I will go so dirty.
yeah. Dude, if you ask me to be clean and you don't pay well,
Oh no, dude.
well, because it's a fundraiser for a charity. Well, then a part of running a charity is paying the talent so that you can charge tickets to people for your organization. If I'm not getting a cut of that, I'm not trying to sound like selfish that I don't want to do charities because I'll do it. I've done charities, especially for animal ones. Like I'll do them all day, and sometimes I've gotten paid and like given like a portion of my money to them. You know what I mean?
trying to save himself so bad right here.
No,
no, dude. Usually
no,
when
but
I
the
get
thing
paid for
is-
charity, I give them my money.
Right. Yeah.
You have to be charitable. You have to find out what you want to be
Yes,
charitable
this ain't my
towards.
charity. This is
Is
your
it-
charity. So you're asking me to do it. But if you're asking me to do a charity and you're not paying, it's like I'm going to tell you I'll be clean and then I'll be dirty. Like that. That's what happens when you don't
Hire Augustino for your next charity event.
But the thing is, yes, when you're doing corporates or privates, they do pay pretty good because they have an agenda. It's a charity. It's a Christmas party. I hate doing private stuff like that. But that's the phase that I'm in right now, is that, yes, I can go clean. And if you're going to offer me the money, I'll probably take it because I'm like, yeah, okay, great. Depends on where I'm at financially also. But my phase is that I don't even want to. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I would just go like, a couple
That's
$100.
good. That's good to get there. That's good to get
I'm
to
in
a
a position
point where
where
you can turn stuff down. There's
I'm
the
not
power
trying
of
to
no.
work on my bank account right now. Not that I have money by any means. I'm just saying it's more important.
Rob them.
Yeah, it's more important to me to work on my craft as an artist, and me like altering who I am for your event is not my priority.
Yeah, you sound like a fucking sellout. But no. I mean, this place could use a couple updates. You have a fucking kayak in here.
Yeah, I mean,
What you got against kayaks? Bro?
yeah, bro.
Great.
I'm
Nothing against
one-
the kayak. It's at the placement of the kayak.
I'm
Let me
one,
get one thing straight.
private event away from getting the oars.
That's the only reason you're taking it.
That's the only
I'm
reason I'm
taking it
taking it.
because I need the oars.
Yeah. And then I'll be able to go out and ride that thing. Dude, what time we got? Because I know John
This
has
has
a
not
show.
been long.
This is 7:43.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
been like 5 minutes.
It hasn't.
I know.
26
It's been almost a half an hour, bro.
Oh, wow.
And plus my intro that we did before you got here. This is an hour podcast.
Oh, Jesus. What did you? Okay.
I think that you and I have always, and still are, like always kind of been on the same path, different journeys, or different paths and same journeys. I don't know
Are we
however
gonna
you want
start
to put it.
microdosing? What's going
I
on?
feel like he's about to propose to you.
So what I'm trying to say is that
Fucking
we
knew
should
this
be
whole thing was
together.
fishy. Do you even have a podcast?
These aren't even on.
This is just a walkie-talkie.
These cameras aren't even on. No, dude, I just feel like we're in the same boat, bro. I feel like we probably have some of the same.
No, we're in the same canoe.
We're in the same kayak.
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 That's exactly describes where you and I are right now.
Same.
We got the kayak, we just don't have the oars.
Someone give me the fucking oars.
Give
Why
us
won't
the
no one give
oars,
us the
and then
oars?
we'll just be like,
You don't have enough Instagram followers for the oars. Fuck you.
yeah.
I'll use my arms. They're tired though.
like we're in the same kayak, dude.
Okay.
Like I got a year on you.
What's the water like that we're riding on?
It's choppy, bro.
Choppy.
Like I'm like throwing up from seasickness.
Oh, in the same kayak?
yeah. I mean,
Hey,
This
what
is-
happens in the kayak stays in the kayak.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Because, well,
which is the vomit.
yeah, all over my back. Are you in the front? Are you? Where are you sitting in the kayak?
I feel like at one point I was in the front and now I'm in the back. Because I mean, I'm not like going to New York.
I'm from there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
just
I think
going
that
to New York.
that's the ideal thing, is to work like two major comedy cities at once. If you can do like LA and Seattle or LA and New York, just find like two different. If you can work both, like I'm gonna spend some months here, that's perfect. And I mean, some comics can do that if you're in a situation where you can get like two different apartments, like cheap apartments, or rent a room.
I stay with family in New York.
That's
and
what's
stuff,
that's
so
why you're
yeah.
that's where you have the upper hand, is you're from New York, so you're kind of like backdoor doing an ideal situation.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll fucking drop the point of me like thinking that we're on the same path.
No, I think it's great. I just really wanted to picture us in a canoe together.
It's
and
a
of
kayak,
course,
bro.
and of course, at the kayak, I'm like, oh, so I want to know like more about our journey in the kayak, and let's put it into. And then you go with you throwing up in the kayak.
Well, I don't know if you're
I
getting
don't
these
think we're in the same-
analogies,
Okay.
but it's just a rough road. It's just a rough road. Like, dude, like I'm sure you feel some of the struggles that I feel, man. What is it? How do you feel?
I wake up every day and I'm like, I fucking made it.
See, you're in your own kayak at this point.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not in the kayak. I fell off the kayak.
Mm-hmm.
People think I'm still in the kayak. They're like, oh, John, he's in the kayak with Augustino. And then Augustino's just sitting there and vomit. And I'm holding on to the side of it.
Yeah.
That's really what's happening.
I don't think that you're a common hacky act. I think that you're
That was nice.
That was-
yeah. Well,
that was a compliment.
I was gonna say I think that you're different, and I thought that he was gonna take it the wrong way.
No.
No, I think you're unique, which is what you want to be on stage. I think that you have your own act, your own style that no one else has. You found your voice, and and that's saying a lot because you've worked for a lot of huge comics, and you could have easily developed, which most comics do when you work with someone close. You develop a little bit of their traits and habits, and I admire that, man. You stuck to your own. And you have unique stories. I think that that's what I'm saying. Like, how does it feel to be like this talent? You are a talent, and I just feel like sometimes don't you feel like a little unrecognized for it?
Every minute of every day, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what else do I have to do? It's like, I get it. It's just the climate. The climate entertainment's just changed. It's just different these days, man. It's like, I've worked on myself a lot. The last couple of months in particular, I really worked on myself a lot because I was starting to get really frustrated and really down. I'm like, what do I need to do? And like, I'd be like, but I'm just like, look, I gotta face it. I gotta face what's really going on in this industry, and things have just changed. And guess what? Talent doesn't fucking matter anymore. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. Sorry. And people want to be like, people love using that Steve Martin quote. Be so good that they can't deny you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't apply anymore. I'm sorry. It's over.
I think there's exceptions to. I think you're right. But
You're
I think
right.
There's exceptions.
There's exceptions to every rule, and
I wonder where the exception is because I know that exists. I just don't know. Like, is it because like take Burr for an example? Like, he's obviously like super talented.
Actually, okay, and can I stop you there?
Yeah.
I'm wrong. If you are undeniable and you continue to go,
Yeah.
yes, so I think at some
I think
point
if you
something will
hang in
happen.
there. So that's what I was gonna say. What is the exception? Is it hanging in there long enough?
It's hanging in there long enough. It's almost until I don't know. There's too much to cover.
Yeah.
It's so deep what's happening right now. There's so many layers, I think, of what's really taking place right now that I cannot sum it up. It's like a whole it's like a whole podcast.
It's never one thing.
Yeah,
No.
and it's not one thing, and I mean, I think you're mostly right as far as like talent is not a giant factor, in any way, shape, or form. Because I'm not just.
As a matter of
talking
fact,
about-
if you're original, you're gonna have the long road because no one wants to take a
Ooh, you're
chance
gonna
on
have a
originality.
long
Nobody
road.
wants to take a chance on originality.
Yeah.
Because there's that chance it might not go. People would. You have a better chance if you are hacky. You have a better chance of being successful.
Yeah, pull that
right
away.
today.
Pull it away a little bit. You're
Am I
hot.
yelling?
Yeah, you're yelling.
He's getting angry.
You're getting-
bro.
but
This
that's
is my-
great. I
this
love
is
it.
my passion.
That's fine.
I'm wearing an Elvis watch. This is a watch
I was
have-
gonna ask you what was on that watch because I thought
I had this
Is it
in first
Elvis?
grade, and
Really?
I found it. I used to love Elvis.
Does it still work?
I have to get a new battery for it.
Yeah, put a
but
battery in it. No problem.
I used to love Elvis. I used to gel my hair like him in the morning, first grade. Like I always wanted to do stand up, and I know
Man.
you did too. And I know I know that you wanted to do stand. I know that you
Oh,
always
I thought
wanted
you
to do
meant that I
this.
wanted to be Elvis.
No, you don't.
You're like, I know you did too.
But I know that about you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
always want to do this.
Yeah.
So, I always wanted to do this, and Kevin, I don't know if you did.
I always wanted to make movies.
Okay, yeah. I know you're a creative mind, so I know that this is. But I had this in first grade. I used to wear it, and when I was home this year, probably like 6 months ago, I found it in a drawer, and I was like, I'm putting this on because I was getting so frustrated this year. I'm reminding myself,
Yeah.
hey man, this is what you want to do.
That's
Yeah.
actually a really.
You don't
cool
even
story.
need
I
a
actually
battery,
like that
bro.
a lot.
I don't need a battery. I am the battery.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Because I look at it and I'm like, what time is it? And it's like, it's Elvis time.
It's like that. You
It's
know
not
that-
about time.
That thing
Time's
that,
not
The
real.
watch what time it is.
that-
Time's
it's
not
like, dude,
real.
it's like that famous Jim Carrey story where he wrote a check to himself and he didn't cash it until he was able to, until he made it. Like that's your fucking check, bro.
And
Like
then he
you
put that
can't
check
get
in
a
his dad's
battery in
suit.
it until we're in that kayak.
Yes, until we're pulling up to shore in that kayak and the stormy waters are over,
Yeah.
and I reach over and I say, "Grab my hand, we're getting out of here."
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Wait, one more time." And I'm like, "Oh
and then I
God."
threw up the battery.
Yeah,
And you're like, you had it this
the whole time. That's why you're getting sick. You're like, I knew it was something.
Yeah, man,
Powerful.
It is, dude, and I think that you can blame it on networks. You can blame it on quote unquote
I just
the people who make the decisions.
I don't like how
industry, quote unquote.
I don't like how Instagram to me is a great marketing tool, but it's not a stand-up comedy app. people are treating it like literally, what's your Instagram numbers? First off, here's the thing. Instagram's a great marketing tool. It's not end all be all. Guess what? Not fucking everyone is on Instagram. It's actually kind of a more specific demographic than you realize. That's why the most like the most popular people on Instagram, if you have 3 million followers, that's like a lot, you know? Mm-hmm. That's not a lot of people necessarily. That's like a demographic. You know, it's young. So it's like, I'm 35. Here's the deal. Would I love if my demo was all 18 to 21 year olds? Sure. But guess what? I think I'm too cerebral for that, if I'm going to be honest with you. 18, 20-year-olds like me. I have 18, 20, 21-year-old fans. I'm not by any means shitting on that. They're great fans. It's a great fan base. That's not the only fan base. Mm-hmm. There are people 35 years old who have money, who like to go to shows. Guess what? They don't have fucking Instagram.
I'm so starting to meet more and more people my own age that don't even have social media.
You have no idea. Not as many people have Instagram and are active on it as you think. It's a specific demo. That's why the people that have cornered Instagram markets, they all have the same fans for a lot of them. Mm-hmm. You know? Like a lot of the big comedians, they have a lot of the same fans.
Yeah, they do have like overlap fans.
I think it's a lot of it too is just for the fact that it's come out like that everybody's just gravitated towards social media, that's what a lot of the big ups use as their data.
Yeah, but you're like, but this isn't.
Yeah, it's not, but they don't care.
I know.
There's this other demographic that is not on social media that they watch television, like old school people, like we watch TV.
Yeah.
And we're not on their television, you know what I mean? And you know who is ending up on their television is the people who have high Instagram numbers. That's who ends up on their television.
Yeah.
But they didn't choose them. The social media world chose them. Now they're on Netflix, and some people, if you want to get to an older demographic, they're not on Netflix, they're not on social media. So what are they watching? They're staying on cable. Like my parents don't have Netflix, they don't watch the stand-up specials. Like they're just like watching cable and shit.
And it's weird. It's like, hey, if you're in your 30s and your demo is 14-year-olds,
yeah,
are you good for you maybe financially, but are you doing it right?
Yeah.
I know that's between.
Why are you relating to 14-year-olds?
Let's say 30 to 45-year-olds, married, middle class, or even own a business, just hard workers. They have a couple kids. If they want to go out to a comedy show, they have to get a babysitter and stuff like that. I don't see them going out to a comedy show and enjoying a 16-year-old comic talking about,
Well, here's also
whatever
the thing.
The fuck they talk
Here's
about.
the thing. Everyone wants the young fan base, and I would love it. And everyone's like, oh, and then you start worrying about, am I getting too old? Here's the fucking deal, man. There are a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s that like to laugh. Because you know what? Everyone likes to laugh. So guess what? Hey, industry. I don't have to focus on people. Sorry.
Yeah.
25 and under. That's fine if you think that if that's all you think that's out there.
But you know who 25 and under is? Do you know who those people are? They're people that don't have money.
They're using their parents' money.
so let's just cut out the middleman and go for the parents.
But also, like, people older. I'm surprised sometimes by my audience. Sometimes I have an older audience, and I'm like,
I love an older audience, dude. Believe it or not, I fucking love it.
That's great. Like, I don't know why we're like, I mean, we act like once you hit a certain age, your money's like no good anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now that we're a little bit older, like we're in our 30s, where I'm like, older is like a different number. Like when you're in your 20s, 50 is old. Like now I'm like 75 is old and up. Like if you're like,
and we're all around the same age realistically in the scheme of like time. It's
we're all dealing with the same shit.
We're all around the same. We're all on Earth together.
Everybody works hard for a living and wants entertainment. And I think that, dude, like it's not always about talent. Like you can be like a really, really talented person, and it's not about that. It's about what they happen to be looking for right now, and they decide what they're looking for. They go like, we need this, and we need this, and we need this.
They make up shit. They literally make up. They make up what. Let's just go with America right now. Let's not go with the world. Like let's say like they'll make up with like America wants to see.
Yeah.
And guess what?
It's not
a
true
lot
at
of
all.
times that's not what they want to see.
Not at all.
Like, I love how they tried so hard to be like, straight white guys
Mm-hmm.
are out. Hey, no, we're not. Ever.
Yeah.
We're not out.
They're not.
Maybe
Why'd I start
putting-
sucking dick then, bro?
But maybe like, you want to give more people a chance. That's one thing. But to be like, I literally had people tell me like, yeah, it's not in to be straight white guy right now. And I'm like, hey,
I mean, that is a thing that people say.
Have you been
It's
to
not.
Montana?
It's okay. Hey, man,
Have
all you have to
been
say is just that you identify as a gay black man, and you'll be fine. Just
I'm
say
not going
that.
down this road.
Listen, if you are flamboyantly gay or a lesbian, but you're funny as fuck, on like hell yeah, get that guy going or girl. You know what I mean? If you're a fucking like even sex changed transgender person, but you're funny as fuck and you have a great act that's not hacky, fuck yes. If you're fucking Indian, black, Mexican, whatever the fuck, and we all know that we know fucking funny people that are all those races. Like I don't give a shit, but don't put them in something.
That's exactly that's what I'm
because
saying.
they're that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They
This
made-
person's gay, and that's kind of what America wants to do. See, they have this agenda, and they've decided that that's what it is, and it's not what America wants to see.
It's not
Look
real.
at every movie, like the movies that America wants to see that do great numbers, that make money. None of them get nominated. The nominations are always for like the ones that like made no money. They were in a couple of artsy theaters over. You know what I mean?
It's all-
Like
well, we work in make believe. It's
it's
all
just their
make-believe.
agenda that they put on us, and this is what's happening. No, it's not what's happening in the rest of the world. The rest of the world
not.
has. I agree with you. I don't think that the straight white male or straight anything will ever go away, because most of the country, the majority of the country, are hardworking families.
I had someone tell me,
And you have to relate to that. You have to relate to a hardworking
This is-
people that are married, trying to make a family work, trying to make a relationship work, whatever the genders. Like that's what everybody relates to.
dude, I had someone at a management company tell me I'm not relatable to most of the they're like, we don't see you with our touring department because I don't know if you're relatable to most of the country. And I was like, you're a stupid human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do best in middle America. You're a
Yeah.
stupid human. You look at me, you've decided you looked at me and you just decided that's not what I've decided that the country wants. You're not what I've decided they want.
Did you
You're
talk to everybody
you're
in the country?
Stupid human being.
Yeah, of course.
You're making up things and telling me I'm not relatable. You're wrong.
Absolutely, dude.
Bottom line.
Absolutely.
I'm more relatable in places other than LA, probably. You think I'm relatable in Los Angeles more so? No, because you know what? I can't pander.
It's because
so I
in t-
can't be as relatable
Dude,
in LA because I
today's
will
world-
not pander.
They don't know where to put you. That's what they mean by not relatable.
Yes.
In the environment they've created,
Yes.
they don't know where to put you.
Exactly.
Because you can't be a young, good-looking dude in his 30s talking about real life things.
Right.
For
Totally.
your look and your age, we want you to be talking about dating and the girls you're banging and all the young people to relate
And
to
they
that.
want me to go beta. They want me to go super beta
Yeah.
now because they're like, that's what you have to do. So it's like, and it's
They
just
don't know
like,
what to do with me either, bro. Like no one has ever known what to do with me because I've always been someone
me
who
tell you
talked
what.
about family and relationships, and I've been too young to be talking about stuff like
But
that.
you know what that does? That makes me want it fucking more.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Now you piss me off.
And now you're gonna go get in that canoe and go fucking.
It's a
get
kayak.
it.
You know what? We didn't even realize we had the canoe. We had the oars the whole time.
We are the oars.
They tried to take the oars from us. That's what
Yeah.
they try to do.
Yeah.
And they try to convince us we didn't have oars.
And the oars are
We had
black, by the way.
fucking oars.
I'm sorry. I had to.
No, it's good. Usually they are,
Yeah.
but that's great.
Oh,
Sorry.
oars. I thought you said whores.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
just kidding.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
know, we have whores. We have hoes.
Yeah, we
We are
got hoes.
married, and I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I I'm at a point now where
Well, I'm glad I
just-
brought this up.
I don't know.
I am glad. I am glad I brought it up.
I'm exhausted. Dating exhausts me. I'm not even like so many people. It's just like the lifestyle of just like I don't know. But I'm single now, and it's like first dates have hands down been the worst investment I've ever made. If I
First dates.
went
That's funny.
to a financial advisor
They would
If
say,
you went to
"Stop
a
doing
financial,
first
if you went to a
dates."
financial advisor and you're like, hey, I have this investment I heard about, and they were like, what's the investment? And I was like, oh, it's first dates. And they looked at the numbers. They'd be like, no, dude, you're just going to lose thousands and thousands of dollars on this over time. This is
Yeah.
a terrible investment. So I'm just over it. I can't.
Yeah.
You're
Like, yeah, but I might get like love back. They're like, you're not gonna.
You're not going to get love back. 50% in marriages and
Yeah.
in divorce. Best case scenario, you know, it's like what? Maybe you go on 10 first dates in a 6-month span. You average out $60 a first date.
We don't think first dates relate to you.
Yeah. You're not relatable to
You're
first
not
dates.
relatable to first dates.
But I think you're a relationship guy. I've seen you be with a lot of women, but I don't think it was because you were fucking around. I think that like I've seen you have a lot of like long-term girlfriends.
I like being in a relationship, but
Dude, I ran into you once at the restaurant. You were with a girl who had a kid.
oh yeah,
So it's like,
I
you
did.
know,
That was a 2-year relationship.
2 years. You were his stepdad.
Yeah, I
Did
was.
you had a little bit in bits about like
Uh-huh.
with the kid?
I
and
still
stuff.
do. Yeah.
You still do them?
Yeah.
So do you change it now to I used to have?
Yeah, that was it was weird doing that material when right after the breakup because
Yeah.
I had it so ironed out. So then I had to change.
You had to reword it.
I had to reword it. I had to change the attitude towards it, like the vibe.
And people
of the
at
joke.
home probably going, well, why do you, like, who's gonna know? But trust me, like, it's weird. Like, you'll know that I'm not selling it 100%.
Because when I was in the relationship, it was like endearing when I would talk about the kid. You know, it'd be like, oh, I'm in a relationship. She's got a kid, and it was like, oh, he seems like a fun, almost stepdad type kind of. I had like a fun attitude about it. But then when the breakup happened, I'm like, yeah, she had a kid, and then I tell the same jokes. They could come off as like, were you a dick to the kid? Because when I was in the relationship, it sounded like, oh, him and the kid have funny banter.
Yeah.
But now not in the relationship, it's
Now-
like so I had to make
Psychological
sure-
abuse.
He's
I had
the
to make
reason you
sure
guys
to-
broke up.
I had to make sure
Yeah.
to like, put a different attitude towards it and still be like. So that took a while. I had to like take a lot of the material. There's one joke I stopped doing that I love, and I keep thinking I need to redo this joke, but I just
It'll come out at one point when
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
even
yeah.
thinking about it. You'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, dude, I can bring that back and
Yeah,
rewrite it. It'll fit right here.
totally
It'll come back.
exactly.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Dude, yeah. So why did you guys break up? It wasn't because of the kid.
No, it was a normal breakup.
Would you have been ready? You think if that was going to be a huge commitment and like keep going, you think you had been ready to be like a stepdad?
I do. I do. I got along with the kid. It was probably the hardest part of the breakup.
How old was the kid?
He was 6 when we started dating, and when we broke up, he was 8.
Okay.
She had him very young. She had him at like 21. But yeah, it was.
Dude, that's. I mean, you're not relatable. I mean, sell that to Middle America.
I know. I know. It's
No, but
just-
seriously, that's a great
You're
idea
not.
for
You're
a
not
show.
relatable is just a really nice way to say that you're white and we don't want to work
Yeah.
with you.
It means like I don't know how to. You're talented. I don't know how to use your talents to make us money.
And
Because I've only ever learned how to use these people to make money.
yeah, it was someone who was a little too young to be saying that too. Because I was like, in my eyes, you're still a punk kid. You
Yeah.
know, like it was someone like young in an agency or management company that was like,
Like right now, you're into a band that like you're probably not going to be in. in 2 years. Like that's how young you are. Like you're still spiking your hair.
Right. I still like my hair, but
No, but you know what I mean. Like
But I
in the
also have a
90s,
Batman
everybody
poster
spiked
up
it up
there.
like crazy.
Frosted tips, bro.
I think you have to get going.
yeah,
this has been great.
that's a polite way to tell me we need to stop.
No, we could keep going.
This podcast doesn't relate to you anymore.
I don't think that I don't even think I hit to some things that I could even keep talking about.
Oh,
but I
we
know
can
that
do-
you
we can
have
do
to
5
go.
more minutes.
You sure?
Yeah.
You want to text them and say you're running a little late,
No,
or am I in the lineup? Or
I don't care.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
I like the guys who show it is. It's not going to be.
Yeah. No, I mean I like that. I like that room too, and they do kind of run 5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll wrap up here in a second. But yeah, dude, it's that's what it is. I think that they've picked what they want.
Is this one of the things that you wanted to say?
No, I just meant that we're still talking about it.
Okay, but there were other things you wanted to bring up with me that weren't
Oh,
to
I
do
don't
with
think
this.
so.
Oh, it relates to this.
I just mean like I can talk about this all day.
Okay, go. Yeah.
Yeah, they've picked what they want, and you're not it.
Yeah.
And
So
but
powerful.
Yes,
what you're
with
saying.
enough time and dedication, and you keep doing you and not changing who you are because you want to be, whatever they are looking for. You stick to your guns, You keep going, and you just, no matter how long it takes to keep going, I think eventually it's going to pay off. You know, look at like some guys that did stories. Like I was saying earlier, it used to not be popular to do stories. It's super popular to do stories now. Like some of the greatest comics are fucking storytellers, bro. And that's what you want to hear. You want to hear some really long bits.
Well, that's how. I mean, it's hard to listen to a one-liner comic for an hour.
Yeah.
After 20 minutes, you're like, these are, even if they're great, you're like, these are good. We get it.
Yeah. 45.
Yeah.
You know, a headliner, 45, one-liner. But I mean, just, it used to be, you know, Mitch Hedberg, I think, made it very popular with a one-liner. And then, you know, obviously, Seinfeld put, I think, observational on the map. And then all of a sudden, I think stand-up took like a little lull where it wasn't very popular anymore, and it wasn't like very cool at one point. Like no one really knew about stand-up. There weren't giant stand-up fans, and I think stand-up came back on the map with Dane Cook.
He did.
I think Dane Cook put stand-up back on the map. Whether
did.
he's your favorite comic or not, I enjoy his early albums.
He did a lot more.
I've always
he did a lot
liked
more
him
for stand-up than people, for some reason, want to admit.
I will admit
a
that all
resurgence.
day.
It was a
whether you
resurgence.
like him or not, whether you're a fan or not, which I like his stuff. There would be no fucking.
And by the way, he
made it cool again.
the
Like,
demographic I was just talking about.
Yeah.
He's the one that brought them on board.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because before that you always felt stand-up comedy was somebody in like a nice suit just cracking jokes.
Yeah.
Where he felt like he was your best friend at the party, and he's like, I get this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's another guy who just kept to what he liked on stage, and fucking.
I think what happened
You know,
was
he told the audience what they liked.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
and then I think then there was this obsession with the pursuit of his fan base from comics, and I think that is it possible that's where this whole notion of like trying to get younger, you know, people as your audience. I wonder if that was kind of like, you know, so many guys would start and girls would start, and they'd be like, you know, I want to have that career.
Yeah.
And it's like, just have your own. Don't worry about having to.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody else.
so many people when I started, I was like, oh, this person's just doing a Dane Cook impression.
Oh, dude, when Dane Cook was like
Just
the
like,
biggest comic on the planet,
do your own thing.
Everyone was Dane Cook.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing fucking Dane. I remember that, bro. I mean, even Seinfeld talks about when he started stand-up, there was no such thing as like the headliner. That wasn't like a thing. It was, you know, so he wasn't like, I'm aspiring to be a headlining comic. That he's like, I just like doing stand-up. Like, I just like it.
Yeah.
And there were, you know what I mean? They made the headliners. Like, they became them. And then you're right. Like, Dane Cook became like his career that he had. He ended up being a rock star comic. The first comic to ever sell out, wasn't it Staples Center?
Madison
Oh
Square
no, excuse me, it was Madison Square Garden.
Well, did Dice Clay maybe? He sell it out. I don't know.
I don't know, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Dane was the first comic to ever do Madison Square Garden, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Dice did, but I think there's records in there somewhere.
Well,
I don't know.
we
what
should
it
look
is.
it up.
He did. I
Don't
think he
you?
sold it out twice
You're
in one
You're in
night.
touch with Dane. Don't you open for him sometimes?
I did one tour with him.
Oh, okay. Ask him. Is he the record holder?
No, I think
I think
sold it
Google
out.
can answer that
I
question.
think he sold it out twice in one night. And I think he sold it out 3 times total.
Because I remember Al Del Benny.
Yeah, of course.
Al Del Benny, fucking great comic.
Yeah, he's the
moved to
best.
Australia. I've had him call into the podcast because he lives in Australia now. But he was like Dane Cook's neighbor. Like, they grew up in the same area in Boston.
Yeah.
And they toured together from like before Dane was famous. Like,
Yeah.
they toured together. He was on the Tourgasm tour,
Yeah.
right? So
I don't know if he did Tourgasm though. I don't think
maybe he didn't do Tourgasm, but
He
he was
did
one of the
everything.
early
He
on
was like his
boys
main
of
feature,
Dane's.
yeah.
So they go way back. So Al told me that Dane was the first person to do Madison Square Garden and sell it out, the first comic. And then Dane was in the green room like, yeah, I'm the first comic to ever fucking sell. Like, he was like all hyping it up and stuff before he went on stage. And Al went, well, technically, I'm the first comic because I'm going before you. Which is really, and then Dane was like he didn't like that.
Right. It's so funny.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, dude, like, I think you're right. I think that he became like a rock star when comedians were never rock stars. They
Yeah.
were always famous. They were great, but he made stand-up comedy like a rock star, and then he took it to movies, and he was like in a bunch of like really funny leading movies. He did dramas a couple times.
I
He
also
had a
think-
great career.
and
Like,
not
like comics could actually look at that and go, I want that.
And not, yeah, Yeah, and not to flip the switch, but I think another thing that's happening too, which is really bad, is that I don't think someone Jim Carrey said this to me, which is a quote that really was pretty powerful. He said, "Yeah, they're making you guys be businessmen before you're artists."
Yeah, totally.
And he goes, and that's going to kill art.
Yeah.
And he's right. Like,
as he was painting Trump.
No, we should be artists before but now this new generation of comedians.
Yeah, he's 100%
comedians that are
right.
starting. They're like, oh, do I need to write jokes first? No, I need to get an Instagram following. That's what I need to do first before I have anything else.
Yeah, he's right.
I need to have a following. That's so bad. You should have your content first. You should get big and successful from your content, from your art, and it's like, it's not. And I also feel like people want to know too much about your personal life now, and we've always been like that.
Yes.
It's like you're supposed to put that out there, and I'm like,
you're supposed to like be selective about what you let them
people are
know.
like jealous of like what they think my life is, and I'm like, just stop glamorizing my life. Glamorize my art.
Yes.
Don't glamorize my life though, because I'll tell you what, I don't make a lot. I don't have benefits. I'm just getting by. I don't even have much in the books for 2020.
Yeah.
Everything's so up and down.
Everything's so like.
I could be a movie
month
star
to
next
month
year.
with
Well, that
bookings.
movie star doesn't exist anymore. I could get something next year. I might not. It's like, so just focus on like supporting my art. Like if you like my stand up, leave it at that. You know what? Fuck it. We're not friends. I hate to say that, but like stop trying to, because we're so reachable. People, and especially at my level, it's like, oh, I saw you at a show. I'm going to DM you. If you don't respond, fuck you. And it's like, hey man, I don't know what you want from me. I'm so happy that my stand-up resonated with you. And I hope you come back. And I hope you like my stuff, and I hope you support. And it means so much to me. But when you want me to like talk to you every day, I don't like,
You can't be friends with every single audience member.
We're not friends. Just, this is what I do for a living, and I hope you enjoy it.
I mean, I personally respond to them.
I do to a degree, but then it's like, and most of them are awesome, but sometimes you get people and you're just like, I don't know, and then they'll unfollow you and you're like, I just want you to like my
I
stand-up.
had a guy on Twitter recently hit me up, and because sometimes I'll do shout outs on here, then I'll like, for people that supported me or followed me or were at a show, and then I like tweet at them and go, hey, on this episode I gave you a shout out, hoping that they'll go give the podcast a try too,
totally.
And then this guy hit me up like recently, and he was just like, hey bro, like you gave me a shout out in this episode, and the episode I looked at from the tweet was months ago. He was just now like getting the reply, and then I went, yeah, I did. He was like, what episode? And I'm like, I wrote back, I go, this one right here that was in the message. It says it right on the episode, 200 whatever. And he's like, and then all of a sudden like a little bit of time goes by, and he goes like, what's the timestamp on the shout out? It's like, bro, go listen to the full fucking episode. That's the point.
That's
you're just gonna go like tune in to go hear some person that you don't give a fuck about say your name.
I just want to get. I just want to get to the point. I just want people to like my stand up, and everything. I can't do more. It's just like I work super hard on my craft.
Yeah.
Another
guy
day
another guy you gotta admire. I talked about Seinfeld, Dane, Burr. Another guy you gotta admire who I think has made. Like, we're in a place right now where stand-up for the has the biggest audience ever. Like, we have like groupies.
I know who you're gonna say.
Who?
JR.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. I mean, fucking Joe Rogan. I think it's because he's another guy.
I'm on board.
That is just like, and you know how fucking Joe Rogan? It's not necessarily because he was in Fear Factor or The Man Show.
So big.
He's so funny. He's a great writer. But besides that, it's not The Man Show. It's not Fear Factor. Yeah, I'm sure those helped. But like, I used to watch Fear Factor with my mom and dad. Do my mom and dad go to Joe Rogan comedy shows? No. So it's not from fucking Fear Factor.
MMA,
okay.
UFC.
I mean, yeah, you have those guys too. But it's the fact that he created his own empire.
Yeah, he did.
He is so huge. He's the biggest comic in the world. Like fucking. If you're not a fan of his stand up, you know him at least.
You know who I like too? Because he got big, and he didn't do it on social media. He did it solely on stand up. Is Sebastian.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I don't even know.
He did do it on. Well,
I don't even know how he got. All of a sudden, I'm like,
dude, he's
huge.
It wasn't all of a sudden. It probably seems like it was overnight.
I know.
He's been around for like a long time. I heard stories that Joey told me that he used to be a waiter at like a hotel nearby, and he would come into the Comedy Store in the back room, take off like the tuxedo. He was like a busboy. Like he would take off the uniform and fucking put on like the leather jacket that he wears and shit, go up to the set, put it back on and be like, I was on break, and like go back to the restaurant. Like that dude hustled. That dude is a hard worker.
He got big a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What took him to the next level? Do you know?
I remember
like the next level.
Hearing about him longer ago.
Yeah, totally.
Because I remember that he had, I don't know if it was a special.
Was it maybe a special that did it?
I don't even think they were calling them specials back then. He might have had like a half-hour thing, maybe on Comedy Central. I forget the network. But I remember that his Ross bit about how like people are so dirty in Ross that when they put stuff away, they just go like, oh, I don't want to buy this. And he would go,
right.
Then you just fucking throw it. I remember that bit being like going viral. That I remember. I remember everybody talking about that.
Is it like a little element of like an Angela Johnson situation maybe?
I don't think that bit made him.
Right.
But I would say that like I just remember that special.
He
like
got big off of.
Yeah. And then the Italian thing, like the Italian in this nation is just like there's so many, and then you have the people who think they're Italian, you know what I mean, that like to play like that and relate to them.
We can't now, but we should have talked more about Italian.
We're both
There's
Italian.
no place for us right now.
Yeah, dude. Before we go, and we'll end on this, because I was saying so. Yeah, fast version. Rogan did it on his own, created empire.
Sebastian got big off of just stand up, which is awesome. Nothing else.
Podcasting made like the fact that we now have the biggest fans in stand up more than we ever have. Okay, so what I was going to say as far as Italian, another Italian comic recently just told me this, Steve Simone. We were like driving and stuff like that. Yeah, he was here recently. But he didn't say on the podcast. We were driving to a gig, and he was just like, we're driving back from a gig, and he goes, dude, I feel so sorry for you, he says to me. And I'm like, why? He goes, because you're about to go through what I've went through. He was like, you're me. Like when I was young, he was like, you're funny, you're straight, you're white, you're Italian, you have a lot to offer. And he was like, and that's not what they fucking want.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have a really tough struggle. And I was like, well, fucking thanks, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Mm-hmm. Just got to keep working on your own art.
See you guys.
That's all you can do. But that's it, John.
Hey.
Thank you for coming by, and thank you for staying late with us because I know you got to go.
Oh, this is fun.
And if they get mad at you over there, tell them that it was my fault.
They get mad. They just started probably.
But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And
by the way, the follows really help. Follow like they unfortunately do. So in the meantime,
hey, so after all that, can you guys just follow me on Instagram?
Follow
real quick?
us.
You got any shows coming up? Oh, you're going to New York tomorrow.
I don't know when this comes out.
This comes out Thursday or Friday.
Oh, I have a show in New York City.
Okay.
I'm headlining.
Where?
West Side Comedy Club, Saturday 11/23, New York City. It's Upper West Side. It's a 7 p.m. show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, find my John Campanelli. Find me, John Campanelli 1, social media. Find it. I've got the links up there and everything.
On social media,
and
he's
come.
John Campanelli 1.
I think I want to change it to J Camp.
Okay, well, you're still number 1, bro.
People say that now. They're like, but it means you're number 1. No, the other one was taken. I want J Camp is cooler.
Okay. Hey,
I'm not even
listen,
convinced.
Do it, man.
Guys,
Do
check
it,
out John
J-Camp.
Campanelli. Support his art, and then never talk to him again.
You can
Do
talk
not
to me.
DM.
We're just like, like you're not gonna come over to a family dinner.
All right,
okay?
you gotta go. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, thank you guys. That was our episode with John Campanelli. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm not just saying that. I thought that we touched on some serious subjects there, and we talked about a lot of things that are really important right now. And if you're an aspiring comic or just in the industry, I think that that's definitely a lot of stuff that you guys are probably going through or will go through, and just keep it in mind in the future. Or in any industry you're in, if you're not necessarily into stand-up, I think that it's, there's struggles out there for everything. And hopefully our bitching and whining has fucking helped you out in some way, either to relate or to just realize how you're going to fucking tackle this thing. But anyway, I want to thank John Campanelli for popping by. I want to thank Kevin Lyons for being here and sitting in the uncomfortable chair. Mm-hmm. And I want to thank you guys for supporting the Homeschool Podcast and giving us a chance. So please subscribe. We got more episodes coming your way. We're going to keep doing our best to put out great content, great guests, and just subscribe. Leave us 5-star reviews. It's all super helpful, including going to homeschoolpod.com and going on the tour dates, checking it out, and where you can see me perform. And then also, best way to support is to just get a Homeschool Podcast t-shirt or something, or like a hoodie, and just rock and support our awesome ex-presidents series of the Homeschool Podcast t-shirts. Go check them out. I am going to do a Black Friday sale, so get ready for that. I'll tweet and post on Instagram the promo code for Black Friday. Make sure you guys get a big discount, because I'm not really interested in making money off t-shirts, selling them to you guys. I'm more interested in just getting our podcast out there, and it makes us feel good to see that we were supported and we have listeners that like our show. Also, this episode is brought to you by benefitpackages.com. So if you guys are in California, you know it's open enrollment season right now. It's time to get your health insurance in order. Maybe you missed it last year. Maybe last year you did get it and it's a little too expensive, or you don't like it. You contact the professionals, you guys. They're going to make sure that you're getting everything the right way, making sure they get you into a plan that fits your needs. And they'll make sure that you're enrolling the right way, so that you're not paying too much, like through Cover California, aka Obamacare. So they can help you out with that. So go to benefitpackages.com. There's no additional charge to use their services. They're paid from the insurance company. Okay, so you don't need to pay them anything. It's free help from professionals, and then they stay your agents the entire time. So next year they'll help you re-enroll or renew, or if you need to make changes and stuff like that, they do all that for you. Okay, hospital bills, they do the claims, all that stuff. Why not use them if it doesn't cost you anything and you have healthcare professionals? Benefitpackages.com in the state of California, or call 1-800-356-3615. Tell them that the Homeschooled Podcast sent you, and you'll also get a free gift from us. Okay, it's either going to be your choice of movie tickets or a Starbucks gift card. Okay, you guys, so you got nothing to lose, only to gain. 1-800-356-3615, and don't wait, because open enrollment is here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Homeschool Podcast. I hope you have a great weekend. And next week, it's fucking Thanksgiving week. It's here, you guys. So have a great weekend. And the family time's coming up. And we love